Hi, everyone. The doors to the Viridian Tea House are open once more, and I bid you welcome. This time I am sharing it in the first of conversations. And why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hello, my name is Mindy, and I'm the Kundalini Witch. So I teach Kundalini yoga or other kinds of yoga as well. And I do a lot of like witchcraft and witch school type of workshops and events where we kind of just, use the ritual witchcraft and the elements and everything that we do with making our magic and mix it with yoga and moving our bodies. And I'm a mother of 5 and and I love to read and I love tea. So thanks for having me.
Cool. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to have this conversation with me. So the rule is we both have something to drink, which, by the way, what are you drinking?
So I'm drinking on Words of Woolif.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Favorite. Like product drop, I know. But, this is my favorite. It's my favorite tea. Like it's very me. It's by the Viridian Tea Company,
Thank you.
and it turns blue. And the first time I ever saw it, I was in a workshop with you. You were doing a tea traveling, and I was just amazed that it was blue tea. But then when I started being like, it has rose petals and it has the lemon balm, and it's just and lemongrass, and so it's just very me. I feel like it's just my inner tea. It's my tea traveler's tea.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. Strangely enough, I don't have that blend anymore.
No,
but I do have the other blue tea. What was it called? Bombay Sapphire. So it doesn't have the roses in it, but it still has the butterfly pea flower in it. So, but anyway, so in the first of our conversations, this is exactly what it's going to be, a conversation.
Yeah.
You talk about anything that you want. If you want to spend this time to vent, cussing is allowed, whatever you want to talk about, it's all you.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. No, you make conversations easy. So I felt like I didn't need to prepare too much, but we were talking about a couple of things, to chat about. And yeah, I mean, it's been over a year since we've seen each other with this crazy pandemic. We used to meet for Sundays, and it's just been a really wild year. So yeah, we were mentioning like what has this pandemic been like for me, and so I feel like that is a fun place to start, right?
Yeah.
Let's keep it light, and airy. No, it's been a really heavy year, so it's really like taking it one day, one step at a time. I am a Capricorn sun, Capricorn rising, Scorpio moon, if that speaks to any listeners, which I'm like super go-getter, but I'm also like really intense. So, I'm really like a goal-setting kind of checklist type of person, and I feel like the pandemic has kind of like completely thrown those kind of personality traits out the window, right? Like there is no like planning 6-month trips or year goals or anything right now. And so, yeah, I mean, work has been all computer. Like I do virtual assisting as my day job. So I'm on a computer all day long. I'm like reading emails and doing customer service stuff and uploading videos or doing graphic edits, right? And so then when I want to hang out with my friends, I have to like also stare at a screen for that. Or if I want to teach yoga to people, I have to also like put up a screen and a light. And so there's been like ups and downs this year. Like,
yeah.
yeah, definitely roller coasters. And so like looking back, like there's so many things that are good about it too, right? Like I want to also like honor the things that have happened in my life that have been good. I've, you know, gotten more reading done and, you know, had time to finish that project or been, you know, opening up new avenues and new types of need for painting and stuff. So, you know, it's not all been bad, but it's been really heavy, like to be empathic or energy, like working with energies in any way, like having that like magic or even like feeling other people within your household is just, and then to be like a yoga instructor and someone who's like teaching 12 people in witch school, it became like a lot to carry. Like I started to feel like I was like getting shorter with the like load, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when I moved from Memphis to New Orleans, I thought, okay, this pandemic started, but it's just going to be a couple of months or whatever. And then it was like the impossible became possible. And one of the most heartbreaking things was to drive through the quarter and nobody was around and no restaurants were open. I've never seen it like that.
Can't imagine.
And but then as they started to open up the city, I was like, okay, I'm gonna enjoy what I can.
Yeah.
So I would go out to the quarter and I walk through City Park and, you know, the New Orleans Museum of Art. And then I started to feel the creativity again, you know, like I would just go out and take pictures and just do stream of consciousness kind of writing.
Yeah.
However, when I moved to Colorado, that's when I really started feeling like me.
Yeah.
But kind of removing all of the dirt and the grime. The first time I came out here, I was like, this kind of reminds me of New Mexico. And when I went to New Mexico, I felt so calm, so laid back, so together. And so when I got here, I was like, this really, I was like, nah, you know, whatever. And then when I moved here, I was like, holy crap, they weren't kidding. Like, I was telling my boyfriend that I was like, look, honey, I'm sorry, but I always thought that Colorado was nothing but like ski bunnies, cowboys, potheads. That's it. But I'm
That's what they want you to believe.
but I'm seeing so much more, you know, and I've always been like an outdoorsy person.
Yeah.
But here, I mean, you can't walk 10 feet without running into a mountain, literally.
Yeah.
We've got a lake trail behind the house, and you know, people love to walk around here. They love to be outdoors, and I found that I needed it.
Good. Yeah.
I needed that quiet. So, you know, just like you, my reading went through the roof. Like last year I joined the Goodreads reading challenge and beat it. And I said, you know, that was really a lot of fun. I want to do that again. And, you know, the writing has increased. Like I'm working on 2 manuscripts right now, both, you know, one's a murder mystery, one's a gothic horror.
Yes, please.
But and then just really asking myself the question, what do you want? What do you want for your life? And I've had some hard looks at myself and a lot of unlearning. A lot of unlearning. It's like, holy crap, you know, if you stop doing this, then you won't feel like this anymore. And then, you know, I started the really beginning to take the conversion classes for Judaism. And even that has been very helpful. So, and right now talking with you has already changed my mood from what it was this morning. It's like, oh yeah, okay, breathe. So I'm saying all that to say 2020 was crazy. And okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think that we'll ever go back to before the dark times? You think we will?
I don't I don't think we will in the same ways, right? I think that even when we return to like going to concerts or having big events or everybody's in the workforce and like commuting every day, I think that it will be a little bit different. And if not for, and so I hope that it's different because of our conscious awakening. I hope that it's different because we've realized we don't have to commute to work for a lot of jobs, or that we don't have to work for less than $15 minimum wage, or like I hope that like there's differences in the way that we go back to normal, because we have realized the faults in the system.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But I also think that no matter what, no matter like if we've had a conscious awakening or not, or if we're one of those people who sees how we could be different, we're going to go back to our normal in a different way because of like the trauma and the year inside, or the year of fighting being inside, or wearing a mask or choosing not to wear a mask, right? Like it really doesn't matter like what side of it you're on or what you're thinking or believing about it. It's like you've been affected.
Yeah.
Something has changed in you or your life or the way that you live.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I mean, I hope that we don't go back to normal for good reasons,
Yeah.
but also I feel like everybody is changed by it in some way. And so like, yeah, I don't think it'll ever be like normal.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard more stories of people thinking that what they've gone through was a good thing. Then, I mean, I'm not making light of COVID at all. I'm not. But for those who were isolated, or for those who didn't get the virus,
Right.
a lot of people are saying, I finally started watercolor painting, or I finally started meditating, or I finally got rid of that habit, or so yeah, I had a talk with my mom not too long ago, and she keeps asking me, well, so do you think that things are going to go back? And I said, no. I mean, we may go back to a sense of normal, but not how it really used to be.
No. And for good reasons, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're like overworked and stretched thin, not enough pay, not enough vacation days. I mean, I feel a lot about the Europeans setting those examples for us, right? Or even Canada to the north is still North America, and they are like, no, we'll make our minimum wage high. We'll make them like we'll give them free health care. And so there's so many things, and then you have to have so many paid days off. Like your company has to give you 5 weeks or whatever, and like 6 months when you have a baby. And so it's like there's just so many things that are like, if I didn't have to stress about thousands of dollars in medical bills, like imagine what I could get done instead, or if I wasn't paying medical, if I wasn't giving my money and energy to the medical bills, imagine what I could accomplish with my time and my energy and my money, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like there's so many things that we should use this pandemic to change our systems, right? Like, don't get me started on the justice system. Don't get me started on the legal system, right? Like, there's so many things that I feel like we're on the right track as a collective, right? Like we have the right ideas, or we have the right people who have the right ideas out there. And I just like, I'm just like praying that the lockdown, the pandemic, the way that this last year has been for everything will make it be like, oh yeah, we can have $15 minimum wage and healthcare for all, and all my liberal points, you know, all my Uncle Bernie Sanders points. Just, you know, just to like help the community, very much like build a bigger table, not a taller fence kind of person. So I'm hoping that that was like spreading like wildfire throughout the communities. I think my belief is what we need the most. So
Yeah, there is a term in Judaism called a mitzvot. I hope I'm saying that right. And it literally means a commandment, but for Reform Jews, it means a good deed, something that you're doing because it's the right thing to do. And I'm noticing that I'm really consciously thinking about my behavior and my actions and saying, is this the right thing to do?
right.
And follow up with that, am I doing this because I want the pats on the back, or am I doing it because it's just right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had many a conversation like this with my boyfriend, and we'll be sitting there with our cups of tea and coffee, and we'll be like, well, what do you think about this? And it's like, well, you know, I think this, and do you think this? Like, yeah, I think so. So yeah, I think that we as a human race, we're definitely going to communicate more, and we're going to appreciate that more.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I have to tell you. Okay, so 6 degrees of separation. I get this email from the magazine Poets and Writers, and they talk about different writing contests and whatnot. Well, they had a listing for a pen pal group. And it was like, hey, you just sign up for free and we'll send you somebody. You can ask them questions and they won't know who you are, but they can answer them. They'll be like, you know, well, what kind of letter do you want? Or tell me some of your hobbies. So I signed up and I was like, okay, you know, whatever. And I got a woman in England. So I sent her an anonymous letter. I was like, hey, you know, so what kind of letter do you want? And she's like, oh, I'm still new at this, but I just want to know where you're from and blah, blah, blah. So I typed out a letter and I told her I was going to handwrite my next one. But that felt good. And again, I didn't do it because I wanted the look at me, because it was a mitzvah. It was just, I want to reach out to somebody and just say, hey, you know what? We're all going through this.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, wow. Yeah. I know what you mean. I love pen pals. I used to have pen pals when I was a kid, right? And like I would always get like fancy stationery and little stickers and like, you know, kit it up, like glitter it up.
mm-hmm.
I haven't had a pen pal since I was in like 5th grade.
You know,
so much fun. And right now too, like I would love to get like an anonymous letter from somebody, or, you know what I mean? Just something neat. Yeah.
Yeah. The last time I had a pen pal, I met this woman who was from Finland, and we just started writing back and forth, and all of her letters, like the paper was watercolor painted and all kinds of designs, and she would send me pictures, and I was like, oh my God, Finland is occupied by the Fae.
Wow.
This woman did not look human at all. But I remember, you're too young to know this kind of stuff, but back in my day when I was younger, we used to make mixtapes. You probably never heard of mixtapes.
I used to have to put tape on, like I would have like an old tape that I didn't want to listen to anymore. So we would put tape over the little holes so you could hold it. Yes, I used to have to I used to have to wait for the radio to play my favorite song so I could press record at the right moment where you don't hear the DJ.
Well, so she actually made a mixtape of Scandinavian music.
Oh, nice.
And to this day, my love of Scandinavian music is because of her,
Nice.
which I dated this one guy who is a modern day Viking. And we were talking about music and stuff. And I was like, yeah, you ever heard of this group and this group and this group? I was like, look at me. I know what I'm talking about.
We need to go way back. Listen to Scandinavian bands for a long time. Okay.
Oh, yeah. But, oh, you know.
Yeah, that's one way to impress a Viking is to know all his favorite bands. Sure.
Actually, though, with, all right, so the two novels I'm working on, one is a murder mystery set in the goth subculture. It's called Black Lipstick. And I've been listening to my old goth music.
Yeah.
And I've been having midlife crisis in my studio. I'm just like, why am I wearing these colors? What is going on?
I'm not 15 anymore. What happened? I went to sleep at 15. I woke up at 36.
Like, okay, so this pullover I'm wearing, I got this from Boulder. I now have a Boulder, Colorado item.
I love it. I think that's adorable.
But yeah, so like whenever I write, I have certain playlists that kind of get me in the mood. So with Black Lipstick, I'm listening to, like Bauhaus, Susie and the Banshees, Peter Murphy, Fields of the Nephilim. And I'm just sitting and I'm just typing away and I'm just like, I miss those days.
Yeah. Yeah. I was more like a Poe and Alanis Morissette, right? I would listen to like angry chick rocker music, like of the 90s, right? Yeah, I was very much into like, nobody understands me.
Oh, okay, so Poe, P-O-E, right? She sang Angry Johnny.
Yes, she did.
Did you listen to her second album called Haunted?
I have several of her albums. I don't know if I could place any songs off that one. I don't know if that's one that I listened
Well,
to.
if you ever, like, if you have a streaming service or whatever, check out Haunted. Oh my God.
I have a Poe channel, so I'm sure I've heard.
You probably have.
It up in there.
You probably have.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a Poe Pandora channel, so
Jeez.
That's where I go when I'm like, why am I not 15 anymore?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Oh Lord. Anyway, is there anything, okay, so what's a Kundalini Witch? I know you talked about it in the beginning, but elaborate a little bit more.
I mean, it's just how I love to like use Kundalini energy, right? Like I started doing my Kundalini teacher training and I started to see like, oh, in the studio that I was training in, we would like light candles and do Kundalini by candlelight. And then we had like tons of crystals in the front of the shop. And I started to just like make all these connections where my yoga practice was like the energy work that I was doing in my magic.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of, I mean, it just made sense for me that since I was 12 years old, I've practiced in some way pagan. I've studied it or read about it or, played in the woods as a witch. So I took that with me into adulthood. And then when I did my yoga teacher training, again, I just started to see like, I use the element of fire in my yoga. I use the element of fire in my witchcraft. I use the element of water in my yoga. I use the element of water in my witchcraft. And so I just mix it together where I like to teach workshops on Friday nights, local to Memphis, but also we've been doing them Zoom because of the pandemic. Where that's what I like to do. I like to say like, okay, we're going to do a little spell. We're going to do a little witchcraft. We're going to bring in some elements. And then we're also going to do the yoga to like move the energy, move our bodies, quiet our minds, get rid of our junk that we don't want anymore. And so we do a lot of like writing, journaling, releasing, burning, crying, sweating, right? And so those that I like to bring my own personal practice. So that's just, I use the Kundalini Witch just to teach how I practice yoga and magic together. So.
Okay, cool. Speaking of journal, Here's my latest journal.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. It's
That's
this,
so pretty.
yeah, it's this surrealist artist named, let's see, Katrin Wells Stein.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, she's all about the surreal. Like she has an Instagram page too. I mean, the work is just to die for.
So my friend, my latest journal looks like this.
Oh, cool. Is that
My
Frida?
friend, and like a skeleton body. My friend bought this for me in New Orleans. So it has like, I don't know if this is like the name of the company
Okay.
or if it's just the brand, but it's like one of those beautiful, like, feels like recycled paper, and
Mm.
it's made on like a cardboard. It's like hand
Oh,
sewn
cool.
together. Yeah, it's like hand woven on like a cardboard lid. I stick like stickers in it.
Nice.
Yeah, so like I'll do stickers and then like journaling, and I'll draw it, and yeah, that's my new journal. Yeah, it's Frida. I love it. I love yours though too, with the umbrella. That's so cool.
Mhm. And I don't know if
Very
you can see
you.
it, but these little black lines are letters.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it's like raining words. That's very you.
You know, actually, I really want to create an art book. You
Yeah.
know, you get like the thicker paper and there's the doodles and the collages and stuff like that. I think that that would be a good way to maybe kind of offset some stress or just find another outlet for being creative. Like, do you do that at all? Or I know
Yeah,
you got the stickers.
yeah. So my favorite thing is painting. I love to work with acrylics on like canvas, and I'll just like go into the space of just like throwing paint onto the canvas. I recently started what do they call it? Alcohol inks with the blow dryer.
Oh,
So you
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
inks that are super runny, but then you also
Yeah.
use like rubbing alcohol, and then you use a blow dryer to just make them
Mm-hmm.
expand and paint your paper for you. I don't know. It's really hard, but I'm getting, like I'm practicing. I'm getting better at it. But yeah, collages, stickers, like every year I'll do like a vision board. I love like cutting things out of magazines and like putting them on like big or small. Like I've made ones that are just like 8 by 11 like printer paper or construction paper. I've made them on like poster boards. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like even like in a tiny little journal, you can like do little collages of just some keywords or pictures from a magazine or yeah. I feel like decorating your home can be art. And like I have this what are they called? They're like little picture boards. They're where you like stick like the pictures in them. There's like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what they're called. Memory boards. Even that is like art to me. Like I get like concert ticket stubs, or I get like pictures of my friends, or like little postcards someone sent me, and like like placing those up there with like pins that I get from travel or whatever. I feel like even that's like art, like a collage of itself. Like I find art in all the stuff.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, I've been taking pictures whenever I go hiking of tree branches and
I
the
want
huh?
send me some.
But I've noticed that like even though we're still in winter over here, it's still beautiful. Like
Yeah,
even though the trees have no leaves and they look dead and they're all twisted, there's still a beauty in that.
yeah,
And whenever we go out walking, I always take my phone with me, one to check my steps,
yeah,
but I'll just see a tree in a certain way. Like there was one tree photo that I posted where the tree was in the water, and I said that it reminded me of Ophelia and Hamlet.
yes,
It just it's just like what you said, there's beauty everywhere, there's art everywhere. You just have to take the time to look it
yeah,
and appreciate it.
yeah,
So
yes. Mm, yeah.
So we've got a few more minutes, but tell everybody where they can find you social media wise.
At the.kundalini.witch. So it's, I think you spelled it in the title, but it's Kundalini.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's my Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, the Kundalini Witch, but I'm not on there as much. Like my Instagram just goes to my Facebook. Yeah, and then I have a website, which is thekundaliniwitch.com.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I make all of my events or my witch applications on there, or I took off booking privates for the time being. I haven't been taking any private clients, but with an email, I'm sure that I could, if someone really wanted to like reach out to me, just email me. So
Okay.
also on my website, but yeah, I'm on all the social medias. I don't do the TikTok yet. I don't do the TikTok yet. I say yet because we all get sucked in at some point, I think. But
Look, I look at some of those TikTok videos of kittens and I'm like, 30 minutes have passed by. I just looked at one kitten video. What the heck is going on?
yeah.
But actually, while I have you on here, I just wanted to give you, a big mazel tov. I looked at your website and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Do you have time to breathe?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a manifesting generator, if that speaks to anybody about human design. So I'm just in that constant, like, I have an idea, I have an idea, I have an idea, I have an idea. And so I started a website so I'd have a place to put them, And then I do, Friday nights I do my workshops where I can like, oh, I had this idea for a workshop and I just like let that breathe, So I do have time to breathe. I do a lot of yoga, so there's a lot of breathing in yoga and meditation, but
Yeah.
I do. I made my website be like this. These are the things I love to do. When I sat down to build my website or to start a business where I wouldn't work for someone else, I was like, what are the things that I love to do that I could get paid for? And so I put all those things on my website. So thank you.
I am just absolutely in awe of all the things that you do. I mean, you are very much a Renaissance woman, and I hope that you continue, and I hope that it is nothing but success for you. I truly, truly hope so.
Yeah, same. You inspire me all the time. So yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. And for the record, as my way of saying thank you for this, I will be sending you some bags of tea. When we're done with this conversation, I'll reach out to you asking you for your mailing address and all that kind of stuff, and then I'll get that out to you probably next week. So
Yes. Definitely worth my time.
Oh, geez. But thank you so much, Mindy. I really, really appreciate this conversation. Thank you so much for being the first one of the Viridian Tea House. And unless if there's anything else you want to plug, we can say, talk to you soon. So bye.